session. So if you've registered for it, you will get the recording after the session along with the slides. And my colleague will be putting the links to the different resources that we'll be talking about in the chat. And you'll also get those links with the recording as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Stephanie Henderson, and I'm the Associate Director of Outreach and Engagement and the Nursing Liaison Librarian here at UK Libraries. At the Medical Center Library, we do have a lot of different library services, maybe that you might not be familiar with, or that you come from a different institution. So we just want you to know that we do have one-on-one consultations or group consultations where you can meet with a librarian and we can help you with different things, such as the basic educational instruction sessions. We can help you with EndNote, which is a bibliographic management system that UK Libraries subscribes to. We can do basic introductions to library services for you and your students, and also cover evidence-based concepts. We have created specialty guides and course guides. We have several of those available, and I'll show you today how to access them on our website. But if you are interested in having a guide created and you don't see one available, we can do that for you as well. We also do literature searches for faculty and researchers and clinicians. We assist students with literature searches, but we won't do that for them. And then we are also available for research collaborations. So that might be, you might be working on a book chapter update, or one of your papers and you need help with a literature search, or systematic reviews. We can collaborate on that, although we do have a pause on that for this fall semester. We hope to resume that in the spring. And again, EndNote help and guidance, we have several tutorial videos available for how to use EndNote and how to download the software. So the Medical Center Library has a team of librarians here to help you with any of your research needs. Most of us have a liaison area that we support. So you can see here on the screen, we have a liaison specifically for dentistry and pharmacy, public health and medicine, health sciences, and nursing. And then you can contact us at any time, either directly by going to our research guides, and I'll show you where those are, or you can just contact mclib@uky.edu. That's our email address. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us. And again, you're gonna, we work as a team. So maybe if you are in nursing and you're a nursing faculty, you might know to reach out to me, but you can reach out to any of us and we're able to assist with any of questions that you have. So you can access us anywhere at any time. If you have been to the library, or if you're not familiar with the Medical Center Library, it is in the Willard Education Building. It's kind of in between the College of Medicine, the admissions office, and the College of Dentistry. And so what you'll find in our physical library is not a lot of books or very many journals. Most of our resources are available online in electronic format, so electronic journals, electronic books. However, we do host events in the library. We have, it's a great study space for students. So you're not to tell you don't come to the library, but we want to make you aware that you won't find physical items, very few physical items in our library. Except for we do have course reserves in our library. If there's a reserved textbook, we can only get it available in print, you can have that in the library for students to use. One other thing about the access, the basement of our library is available through a swipe access 24/7 for those students in our health science colleges. Off-campus access, you can access the library off campus. Let me just look real quick here, yes. If you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself, or you can drop it in the chat and someone is monitoring the chat for us. If you want to access any of our resources off campus, you can do that. You're probably familiar with this, your Link Blue username and ID. That is how you access our resources. So there's one particular resource that you have to be on campus in order to get the information for, and that's our Lexicomp app. But if you get signed up on campus, then you can access the app off campus. So that's just really the only one that there's kind of, you need to be on campus for. But everything else is available off campus. So I just kind of want to go over a brief introduction to kind of some of our databases and the resources that we have. On our website, if you click on the health science databases, we have them broken down by our different liaison areas or our colleges. So dentistry, health sciences, medicine, nursing, pharmacy, and public health. And then you can see what are the best bets. You know, we want to encourage people to use these first, and then we have a full listing down like kind of further below that on the page, below this best bets area. So we do have access to kind of your major databases in health sciences, so PubMed, Embase, CINAHL, PsycInfo, UpToDate, Lexicomp, Web of Science. There's over 400 databases that UK Library subscribes to. So if you have a question about a particular database, do we have access to that? Feel free to reach out to us and let us ask that question, or you can ask it in the chat today as well. So our ebook collections, there's a couple of things that you need to know about our ebook collections. So most of them have unlimited number of simultaneous users. So you as a faculty member, a student, and all of your classmates could use it at the same time. However, we do have some ebooks that have a limited number. So maybe only 3 people could use it at a time, or maybe it's just one person. So we do have those different models. So if you run into an issue, and you'll know it when you try to access the ebook, it will say, this is being used. It's in use, try back later. If you ever have questions about that, or if you're teaching a class and you want to know, like, hey, is there a way to get more ebooks available for this particular book, or more users, we can definitely investigate that for you. We do have several larger ebook collections, so you can find particular titles in our library catalog, which is called InfoCat. That's a link on our homepage, or you can look in these collections. So we have a clinical key nursing collection, and we have clinical key. We do have access medicine. We also have access emergency medicine. TDS Health has a lot of electronic books in it as well. And then our psychiatry online. We also have the LWW basic, I think it's the basic health sciences collection. And that one again has several books. A lot of these, if you're in medicine, a lot of these ebooks are textbooks and kind of cornerstone books for medical topics. So our Browsine, our journals, we access through Browsine. And if you just click on the health sciences journals on our homepage, it will take you to this interface here, where you'll see the Browsine interface. There's a little search bar where you can search for a journal. So if you have a specific journal or a specific article that you're looking for, it's a known article, you can use Browsine to find that. The other reason that we use Browsine, and we have an app for it, and I'll show you the page where you can download the app, is that you can create custom bookshelves. So you can download the app, you can put some journals that you typically use in your field, or that you want to get the latest table of contents updates from that journal. You can create a bookshelf and add those journals to that bookshelf, and then you will get regular notifications when there's a new table of contents, a new issue that came out. So that's another way to kind of, you know, in addition to finding journals through browsing, you can use browsing to kind of stay up to date with the literature. And that's an app that you can download. Like I mentioned before, there's a separate page that we're going to go over in a little bit that will kind of show you about all the different apps that you can download. And we're talking about articles and books. We want to make sure that you're aware of Interlibrary Loan and Article Express. So UK libraries, if we don't subscribe to an item, if we don't have a particular journal or there's an article that you're looking for and we don't have it, access to it, you can request it through Interlibrary Loan for free. If there's a book that you're interested in, a physical book, you can request to have it sent to you. And if there's books over on the main campus library or any of our libraries, you can have those books that are available in the catalog delivered to you here at the Medical Center Library. So those are just kind of some options for you. As far as how long does Article Express and Interlibrary Loan take, the Article Express, it's like an instant delivery. And then there is an option for like a 2 to 3 hour. It really is, you know, you don't get to choose how fast you get the article, but it's fairly fast. Interlibrary Loan typically takes 24 to 48 hours for articles that are delivered electronically through PDFs. Books and request physical books or physical materials or items, those typically take at least 2 weeks. And so this, if you want to, you know, take a picture of this or kind of screenshot it, these are just some helpful tutorials on how to submit an ILL request, how to find a journal, and how to find an ebook. We have QR codes that go to scribes that will walk you through the process of doing those things. If you, there is a link to the slides that we put in the chat, and then again, you will be getting these slides along with the recording after the session is over today. All right, so our research guides. These are the guides that I talked about that are they're discipline specific. So we have ones for all of our health colleges, and then we have other guides. So setting up accounts, managing citations using EndNote, and then of course our research workshop series. We have, there's little stars on those, and those are the ones that we're gonna kind of focus on today. So if we go to our EndNote guide, EndNote is the bibliographic management system that UK purchases. So you can download that from the software download site from UK. Our guide in particular has this EndNote 21 help and resources. If you are interested in using EndNote, EndNote 25 is out. However, the library doesn't recommend downloading that one yet. Just because we have not tested it, we don't know any of the bugs and issues about compatibility with EndNote 21. It just was released recently. So we kind of are still telling people, do EndNote 21 once we get, once we have the time to like download it and test it, then we'll recommend doing EndNote 25, and then we'll update all of our tutorials and help about that as well. So right now we tell you to download EndNote 21. On our EndNote guide, we have this EndNote 21 help and resources. There's tutorials for how to download it, how to set it up, to set your preferences to get full text, how to import, how to export, how to use the cite while you write feature in Word, where you can write your manuscript in Word and then connect it to your EndNote library and just automatically input your in-text citations, change citation formats, like with the click of a button, those kinds of resources and tools that you would use. We also have videos here that kind of show how to do those things as well. So lots of help with EndNote. Now the accounts to setup page. This is kind of what I was mentioning before. This is where you'll get browsing, the instructions on how to download browsing, the browsing app, how to download EndNote Click and LibKey Nomad, which help you get full text articles with the click of a button, up to date, and Lexicomp are also here as well. So lots of resources on this page. We want to make sure that you have access to that, and so that you can kind of download those apps and tools and resources that will help you use the library more efficiently. This is kind of LibKey Nomad. I just wanted to share a screenshot with you all. If you download this browser, you'll automatically see anytime there's a PDF, you'll see the links down here. Like if you're at a publisher's website, you know, you can be anywhere, like on a publisher's website, on Wikipedia, on Google Chrome, or Google, not Chrome, Scholar, and you'll get these download PDF buttons, because that has linked to our UK library collections that we subscribe to. So that's really good for, you know, just quick access to the PDFs. So we definitely recommend downloading that. Another thing that we recommend is your ORCID ID. You should be, if you're not familiar with your ORCID ID, that would be how to make sure that all of your research is credited to you by assigning an ID number. So for instance, I used to publish under my maiden name, Stephanie Smith. I also have published under Stephanie M. Henderson, which was, you know, my middle name, the M. And then I've also published under Stephanie Henderson. So there's all kinds of different ways that you could say my name. And then Stephanie Henderson is pretty common. So if you sign up for an ORCID ID, then you can get this persistent link, and that you can tie all of your research to that ID number. So that's something that we really recommend all of our faculty. If you're not using an ORCID ID, we recommend that you do that. A lot of public journals require it now. And then we want to make sure that our graduate students know about it as well. They should be signing up and registering for one. The next thing that I want to tell you about is the PubMed search alerts. So we talked about journal alerts when you're getting your table of contents alerts through browsing, but you can also get search alerts. So if you have a particular topic that you're looking for, that you're wanting to keep up to date on the latest publications that are coming out, you can run a search in PubMed, and then you can actually create an alert for that search, and you can choose how often you're alerted to when new articles that fit that criteria are published and sent out. So you can get it, I believe it's like weekly if you want it that often, or monthly. And then we have some tips and tricks for Google Scholar if you want to use the QR code to get the link to the guide that tells you how to do simple things in Google Scholar. So you can link our library, UK libraries, to your Google Scholar account so that you will get the full text links through View Now at UK. You'll see that on your Google Scholar results. You can also, if you create a Google Scholar account, you can bulk export from Google Scholar into EndNote. And you can also set your preferences for your citation manager into EndNote as well. So there's just some tips that we have for that. You can find them on the link or on the QR code. And then we want to talk about AI because, it's everywhere, right? We know everyone uses AI, and that it's prevalent in all of the resources that we use on a daily basis. We have Copilot, um, and we have, Google Gemini. So it's everywhere. So we just want you all to know kind of how to use it wisely in relation to research. So you should know the limits of the AI sources. AI tools don't have access to every scholarly resource. So ChatGPT only gets the open access resources. It's not searching behind paywalls or library subscriptions. So you might be missing high quality peer reviewed research unless it's open access. Verify citations carefully. So sometimes AI tools will generate fake or inaccurate citations, including made up journals, article titles, or author names. So you always want to double check the references are real and reliable. And then you want to use caution with AI generated literature searches. While there are AI tools that will generate a literature search for you, they're often inaccurate or incomplete. So it's important to have the basic foundational knowledge to evaluate the quality of the research before you start using those AI tools. And the library does have a subscription to an AI tool called Cite AI. It's a platform that evaluates scientific papers by classifying the citations as supporting, contrasting, or mentioning. And it's a research tool that generates ideas, it writes content, and it builds reference lists using verified scientific resources. So it does include some paywalled content. It doesn't include everything. There's a link here for how to sign up for an account using the library subscription, and then there's a 5-minute demo as well. And then we want to remind you of some upcoming workshops that we have. The Medical Center Library always does these research workshop series in the fall and in the spring. So and we have different topics. Usually the introduction to the Medical Center Library is always on the schedule for the fall, but every other workshop is different. So we're doing Embase and Web of Science Essentials later this in October, and then in November we're doing some sessions on gray literature. So we want to make sure that you're aware of it and that you can access it. And then we also want you to know about the past recordings page. So we do have several, we've done this for about 5 years now. So we have kind of a repository of past recordings. So we have some databases and advanced searching. We have lots of data management workshops, some systematic reviews. And last fall, we did a horrors of research series. So we have several that are available for you to look at if you need to learn a little bit more about a particular topic. I would suggest viewing the past recordings page. And then in the month of September, we're having our Research Impact Week. So this is going to be a week-long event where we're going to feature workshops about increasing your research impact, like how to identify journals for publication, understanding open access citation advantage, building your online researcher profiles, and sharing data. So we want to make sure you're aware of it. We have a kickoff event happening in person in the library on Monday, September 22nd, where we'll feature some snacks, library swag, and a clay crafting station. Should be pretty fun. And then the rest of the workshops are online via Zoom. And again, just like the research workshop series, if you register for those workshops, we will send you the recordings afterwards. And that's it. That's all I have for today. If you have any questions about the library or about our resources, I'd be happy to answer those for you.